From the Boston Bruins, we have head coach Bruce Cassidy. Media, please raise your hand if you have a question. We'll start with Joe Haggerty, NBC Sports Boston.
Hi, Butch. In an environment like this where you've got to create your own momentum on the bench, on the ice, how big a game changer, momentum shifter moment in that third period was the McAvoy hit on Staal to kind of energize anybody? It seemed like the game sort of went fast forward from you guys from that point on.
Well, from my standpoint, Hags, clearly the, DeBrusk scoring, I mean, we were having a really tough time, especially 5-on-5. So that started for us. Now we're back in the game, right? We got a chance. And then the McAvoy hit, I think we were playing and we were going to push and we were pushing. So obviously it helps us a lot, but I think it really demoralizes the other team when you're, one of your veteran players, a leader in your room, are really, respected player in this league. It's, takes a good, hard, clean hit. And, like I said, it affects your group. So it affected us positively and probably them in a negative manner. They lose a guy that's shut down centerman, who'd been doing a real good job against Bergey's line that game. So for us, it really helped.
Next question, Matt Porter, Boston Globe.
Bruce, DeBrusk's performance in that third period, he and Kasha really seemed like they were on it. But for just Jake, a guy who, loves scoring like he does, as you've talked about, for him to finally get off that zero, that has to feel good.
Yeah, obviously he's a guy that measures himself probably too much about just with his goal scoring. He can bring other things and, hound pucks and make plays and be a net front presence on the power play. We've changed that up a little bit, but there's other ways you can contribute, especially in the playoffs. But we need some goals. Let's face it, we were having a tough time. Missed some open nets early on, and 5-on-5 scoring had been a few games. So good for him, happy for him. It probably sometimes he gets streaky, so hopefully this sets him off. Kasha, again, around the puck a lot, hit a post, some tough luck around the net, but keeps playing hard, good on the walls, made some plays there to help us out. So I like their game. Kretsch, puck was fine him. Unfortunately, like I said, he hit a post, was off net a little bit, but eventually it went our way.
Steve Conroy, Boston Herald.
Bruce, I don't know how many options you had in your mind, but your decision to go with Charlie Coyle up on that first line and take him out of the center position, what was your thinking there?
Well, listen, we needed offense, and he's a more proven scorer than Anders. Anders is playing hard, pursuing pucks. That's a big ask to him going against the top line against Slavin and Hamilton too. So we just felt that, we were having trouble scoring. We feel we're defending really hard, Steve. We're not giving up much, but we do need some offense to give us a boost. So that's why we put Charlie there. Put Crowley back in the middle with some young legs. It puts Bjork on his left side. I've always said he seems to have a little easier time there. Obviously, it depends on our lineup, what's available. And then Jack on the right. Like I said, a young line that can really skate and pursue pucks. And I thought it gave us energy too. So helped out all around eventually. But at the end of the day, like I said, I think it was a big goal by Jake, a big hit by Charlie McAvoy that got us going. And the other guys played well where they were slotted in.
Fluto Shinzawa from The Athletic.
Bruce, on Clifton's goal, it looked like the fourth line got right to their places once Wagner gets in on the forecheck. What did they do technically sound to open that up for Connor? Well,
a couple times, Fluto, what we've been doing offensively is shaking a check and walking up the half wall. And I thought plays were dying on the half wall. For whatever reason, early in the game, we weren't crisp with our hands. I thought our legs were there. The energy was there. We're on the bench. We're engaged in the game. But our hands were off early on in the game. We weren't making plays we typically make. We missed some opportunities with good looks, either wide of the net or over the net. So we talked a bit about changing sides maybe in the O-zone once you create a turnover, and that's what happened with Nordy. You got a separation, come out the other side. They're a man-to-man team. Maybe, their winger has lost sight of the D. And it's the other thing. We challenged the D after the first period to be more involved offensively in terms of, helping create offense and getting your shot through and working the offensive blue line well. So Cliffy, he wanted to let the coaching staff know, or myself personally, that, hey, they can do it. They can get the job done. So I was very happy for him. I mean, he's come into the lineup, hasn't played a lot of hockey, couple points tonight, big goal for us. So in that fourth line, Nordy it deserves to be rewarded. They've played hard and been really, really good for us, and nice to see them get on the score sheet as well.
We'll do a few more for Coach Kevin DuPont, Boston Globe.
Bruce, it looked like Halleck could have had both of those with glove saves. Did you get a sense that that they were easy goals and that was somewhat demoralizing for you guys?
Yeah, I think they're both pucks he typically saves, both stoppable pucks. Certainly the first one, second one, guy's coming with some speed, so there may be some options that Yarrow's got to be careful he doesn't come out too far and challenge. Martinuk can really skate, but yeah. But at the end of the day, we kept playing. Fluto, you got to play, or sorry, Kevin, you got to play through some stuff. These guys in the room know you win as a team, you lose as a team, and I'm sure they wanted to pick Yarrow up, and eventually the puck bounced our way. So hopefully get some work in tomorrow and be a little sharper on in Game 5.
We'll do two more for Coach Jimmy Murphy, Boston Hockey Now.
Hey, Coach, I'm just wondering, in the second intermission there, we keep talking about trying to generate momentum yourself, but when you guys are so frustrated probably after not scoring there on the first two periods, what's said there in the locker room? Was there any kind of speech or anything, or was just, stay with it?
No, I mean, it's typical. A couple of things we can do better for offense. Like I said, changing size behind the net, we thought would be a better approach than shaking a guy one-on-one, walking up the half wall. That seemed to work better the other night, to be honest with you. We got a lot of slot looks, worked pretty well in the double overtime game. So obviously they've made an adjustment not to let us have that time and space. That way you're playing a little close to the net. The wraparounds, Reimer plays deep in his net. That's a difference with him than Mrazek. So some of those wraparounds, there may be some pucks lying around or coming out the other side, like Cliffy's goal. He might not be able to get out and challenge like a Mrazek could. So just a few minor adjustments. And other than that, just stay in the game, keep playing, maybe, push the envelope a little offensively. You're down a couple, having trouble scoring, so you're not going to go out there and gamble. But you need to be proactive offensively, and it worked out in our favor.
There are no more hands for Coach, so thank you for your time.
Thank you.